So you can't tell right now, but the Skraeling's on an adventure. Find out more tomorrow. Okay, so this weekend, now that things are getting slightly back to normal, I hate that, normal, I am at the Callantyre Blacksmiths Guild Hammerin. First one in, well, pretty much a year. So basically, it's guys from 4 different states getting together, learning about blacksmithing, working on projects. Should be pretty cool. So plan is to be more social than worrying about necessarily getting information, but make a little bit of a video, get back in the swing of things, and then get back to actually making the projects and trying to be somewhat of a human being again. So the social time, I think, will help a lot. So, yeah, see how it goes.
Yeah, I got paper. This is full. He keeps it very tight setup. I'm not quite sure.
Okay, so this is where Hammerin is taking place.
And you know how to work with this? Or were you one of the persons who hadn't?
So we have
No, I have a cold war check.
handles,
So you're good.
red low
Load it up. I
shop
got paper if you need it.
over
I'm gonna get this one
here.
started.
See, now assuming I can light it after a year, that's the question.
They're setting up another
We might need a few tries.
coal forge
I
kind of work around here.
I brought in paper. I had a big
So first
catalog
up,
thing.
also is going to be teaching Viking hinges, so that people have something to work on at home, learn a new thing.
Oh yeah,
So it'd be pretty cool. Gotta get used to looking at the camera.
Yeah, looks like the catalog is wandered off.
Should be fun. This is not going to be a lot of me talking. This is just going to be stuff. So I'm going to sew in
Once
some other
this one
things and
starts,
descriptions and
stage
stuff later on.
We're not using that fan at the moment, so there you go.
Morning.
Morning. Okay, does somebody else want to work on cutting the other pieces?
Cold, man.
Technical terms are not much fun.
You want to use this vice bird?
I will.
Feel free.
Thank you.
That's for shaking the socket.
That's for shaking the socket. All the ones I've been giving away on the Kingdom page, I made my little period-esque one,
Yeah.
but the mandrel is tiny. I mean tiny. So I didn't even bring
It's
it.
like that size?
Yeah, it's tiny. It's just, you put it on a stick, it's like, oh, that's tiny. It's just sad.
So we need you to make a 1 1/4.
Yeah, they're tiny.
Javelin.
Yeah.
It's not even javelin, it's tiny. Because once you get it on there, you're like, oh, that's, oh.
That's cute.
It's cute. It's a war guard. So to start off putting your point in it, also, you know, you get whatever shape blade you want to make, just do that now. Put your distal taper in it now, make it wide, fat, draw it out, whatever blade you want is to do that now.
That's a whole class just on that?
Yeah, on itself, I mean, but, you know, whatever kind of blade you want now. I'm gonna take that not that far for the blade. Probably gonna have to switch tools.
That's the one I'm getting his way.
So this part's gonna change up depending on. Do you have a? If you got a, the next part, if you have a,
That's not gonna.
for a lot of beginners, you're not going to. You have a guillotine tool. This next part, this would be great.
I brought one.
Tool. But no, not everybody's got one. I don't even have one. If you have a horn on your anvil, I do it on my horn because it's not the proper way, but it's how I figured it out. If you don't have a horn on your anvil, you can do it on an edge. If you say got a railroad track anvil, you can do it on the edge, but I do it on the horn because that's how I figured out how to do it.
What's your starter material on that?
Piece of lawnmower blade.
Okay.
Yeah. You can make it out of whatever, but
He said it, but I don't know if he
Yeah.
heard that.
it's. I make little like light duty Pucos out of it. And these aren't lawnmower, these aren't Walmart ones, these are industrial ones.
Oh, okay.
So they're not good high carbon. They're kind of a lower mid carbon. They harden up okay.
1045.
They're not, I'm gonna walk out to the woods and build a cabin, but I can use them every day
Yeah.
type of material. Rock hammer. 35 bucks on Amazon. Friggin' amazing. You can use a cross pin for what I'm about to do too if you don't have one of these. So look at your material and kind of figure out how much you want for your socket. For these, it's not much, but I usually do about a third or so, and kind of measure out on your horn about how much you want, and visited too much. And I forgot my hair tie.
So any straight peen ought to work or something like that.
Yeah. Any straight beam. But I just like doing this because it's easier to hold. There's ways to do it on the anvil, the way you should be doing it. I don't know how. I do it like this because
Do you need a hair toe?
I got one. I'll get it at Amazon.
Should and what works is always good.
Yeah, and there's ways to do it. Like the videos I've seen, guys do it on just on top of the anvil and straight down on it. But if you have this, you're doing the work on both sides.
Right.
So you might as well. So get that down to about what you want. And then use the side of your anvil to put the fishtail in it. Straighten her out some.
You guys see what he's doing? He's knocking that corner
Put the-
off that
put
there
the-
was
yeah.
and making it almost more of a triangle shape.
Now's a good time to straighten it out. And it's a good time to also the blade even it out. It'll save you trouble later. And normally what I would do now at this time would be to put my bevels into the blade. I'm not going to go through that right now because that's, basic knife stuff. Right now we're worried about doing the socket. I'll grind them in later. Grinder will be fine. And I forgot my crossbeam that I use for this.
I got a pound and a half.
Get a regular ball bean, but I think, well, I guess a ball bean would work too.
The first spear I ever made, I used a ball beam, and it sucked. No, it sucked. It sucked. Crossbeam for this. No, if you got a ball beam, do it. But you can get a crossbeam at Harbor Freight for $10. They suck, but it's better than a ball beam. What you're going to do now, all you want to do is you want to draw this material out until it'll wrap around your mandrel. Really quick because it's really thin.
So you're working with a really fairly short socket ultimately?
Yeah, I probably cut it off a little shorter than what I should have. I could probably draw it out some, but it's going to be really thin in the end.
Okay. So you go straight across it when you're painting it, you don't fan it?
You can.
Okay.
You
Does it make a lot of difference?
Just depends on if it's a thicker piece of material, you can draw it out longer if you want to. Just depends on how big you want to get it in the end. This I probably shouldn't because I cut it a little too short when I put in the the indentions. I probably should draw it out. Which I probably should do because it is really short.
It actually works to do that. It usually does. These are flat blades, so it doesn't matter.
Now, where are you just making rigs? Oh, okay, I thought you were just making rigs.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. I was just wondering what you're making. Oh, okay.
So that's what I need. That socket, you intentionally work it on the one side?
Yeah, because for this kind of socket, yeah, because once you wrap it, it's not really centered. It's kind of sloping into one side. So I think it works out better just working on one side. For me anyway.
So for those of you who are thinking about making hinges later, the way he just did the indentation for the socket, that's the same way we're going to narrow it for the piece that falls back around the motor. No, not the barrel.
One more thing I forgot, that if you don't have a what is that? Oh shit, sorry man. I just forgot something. Take all the hammer marks out real quick. you don't have a swage block to start rolling the cone or a very deep offset, you can open up the claw on the jaw on your vise and start rolling it there. Makes it a little easier. Oops, sorry.
Oh yeah.
For these little bitty sons of guns like this, I usually don't use the horn. If you're doing something big, sure. And really, you can almost get away with not having a mandrel. For these, you can almost round them up all the way without one and just makes life a little easier.
Aren't you allowed to build this brush that pocket?
You can kind of do it without a mandrel, but it's easier with one.
So is it easier to work upright like that, or would horizontal work too?
It would be a lot easier if you had a curved one, and that's what I got at home. I just a big dummy and didn't bring one.
Did they bring a pipe device? What? Pipe device? They look like that, but they got a set of jaws like this on the bottom.
Yeah.
So they can load down the pipe. They got two sets of jaws each, so they can kind of never set it once.
This is also where you'll kind of straighten up. Like I was saying, that's why I do it on one side, because it's not straight. You end up with it flat only hammered on one side. That's also when you're closing up, you'll get it.
Oh, that's not true.
Yeah. That's why I only do it on one side, because if you're doing a real spear, like a period spear, the socket would be one piece, the blade would be one piece. Well, depending on period, early iron would be one piece like this.
Okay.
And then later on, they would have been an iron socket with a two-piece, iron and steel blade, depending on period. Like early iron work would be one piece like this. Then it would have transitioned to like a iron and an iron core blade and welded together and just early iron. It would be one piece. But that's the basics, man. That's it. Every spear I make is like this. And I've got the one I'm working on right now is 14-inch blade. And it's quite a bit nicer than this, but still the same basic. That's it.
Just to clean it up.
Yeah. I'm gonna clean it up. So I'm gonna have to mix it up because I got in a hurry and I was talking. I'll actually probably do an actual video at the house and slow down and
Calm it out.
I get to talking in front of people and get excited. So it's hard for me.
You mean the number one here in the United States is it's
Oh, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. That's the problem. I like to talk. But yeah, the sockets can be really ugly if you're not careful. Not the socket, but the transition between the socket and the blade would be real ugly. If you're not careful. Yeah, that's a really ugly socket, but that's the gist of it. But there are more pieces, that same stuff in there. But I would do at least, if you do a socket, the step down, the isolation, what is it called? For the socket? Whatever that is.
I mean,
would do.
it's basically upsetting into the middle.
Yeah, I would do at least a third at the bare minimum. I didn't do enough. I did like a quarter. I would do at least a third for your socket on a piece like that.
So you'd be like a third in at each side and a third left in the middle. Is that what you're recommending?
Well, no, of the whole piece, I would do
Oh, the length.
of the length
Okay.
to do your socket with. Yeah, if I was gonna do it, I would do at least that much for the socket before you put the point in. Because once you put the point in, you're gonna get, you know, that much more. So even before the point, a third.
So you can always draw the spear now.
Yeah, as much as you want, because I didn't put any distal taper in that. That is just putting the point in. If you put the distal taper in there, you're gonna get another, even as thin as this is,
Another
quarter
inch.
to a half inch easy without even much.
So, and for those that don't know, distal taper.
Distal taper is the getting thinner. Thinnest point is at the beginning of the handle to the tip, and from the handle to the end of the handle. It's the thickest point in the middle, basically. Is how blade should be. Makes them all whippy and stronger somehow. Technical blah blah blah.
So if you want your socket to come around and be more closed up, is it just a matter of just taking more time?
Yeah,
To
and I just didn't leave enough material because I got in a hurry. So yeah, at least a third. And the more of them you do, the more you'll get to it. Because like the big one I'm working on now, I left it enough material to where it's thick enough. I'm going to forge weld loads onto it. So it's incredibly thick. So it's the socket on it that I used is, you know, that big around. It's going to be a hefty, you know. Yeah, it's going to be a bore spear with, you know, actual socket forge welded to it. Not with this forge, because it's not.
You put the hilt on the horse spear on.
Nice. Socks on it.
Cool. All right.
But that's it. That is the exact basics.
Yay!
Thank you.
All right.
Now,
Guys.
now I'm going to make large S for our event next week.
Let's heat up some metal.
We'll give her a go. Marty, did you make this for two?
No. There's a hammer museum, and they got a big donation. They were selling off the extra ones they didn't want to keep. What's that? There's a hammer museum. They got a big donation, and they were selling off the ones they didn't want. They're old, but I have no idea what history is.
Really?
It's pretty nice, like it.
Where did it come from? This shit. Let me try out your, hey Heidi, I'm gonna try it from Hammerin hammer.
That's what you're for.
Barely keep metal. But some are good and some people.
Oh, and I better text my wife and tell her I'm here and not dead.
Yeah, she might appreciate knowing where the chicken collect the insurance. Okay, well, we can do that. I didn't bring these tools just real quick.
harder than the rest of us. Whichever you want to call it, is fine.
So Barrett, I had to do it this way because my tongs kept sliding off the nice shaped blade end. I couldn't hold it well enough to do it with the hammer. So if I do this again, I need to remember to actually do the end first.
The end first, yeah.
Not
I like doing the point first, that way I can judge a little better where I...
If you got tongs that'll hold it after you've done that, that works. These were sliced.
Luckily, it's all in one plane. I don't like the fact that it's just up and pieces. So, just bring it out of pieces. We can't make our blades on the steel wheel. God damn it, we can make everything else. Oh, none of us wanted to. And then they threw it out there. And what the problem was, apparently they had people back east. They were like, I got bored, heated up to red hot, made yellow again, so that's blade, right?
That'll work. What kind of speed you want to go for? Because you can still, on where it tapers down right there, you can still thin that out and make that blade. Put that long, you know that blade like a well, yeah, I'm used to that freaking concrete hammer.
Yes.
So,
Well, I took the time to work out that. I took the time to work out the 9-hole between the legs.
oh, and something else before you switch them, drill a hole in them if you want to put them out there. Just a second.
Yeah.
Because normally I don't force weld the sockets on these. It's not worth it on something this small. Even on my bigger ones, I normally use leaf springs, so I don't force weld those either. Because if you taper the whole thing, it's spring steel. So when you hammer them onto the stick, they snap. They don't come loose.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair.
The big one I'm doing now.
My deck team. Okay. Here. No, that's the cross. Where's the straight?
Just
That's cross. My deck is straight.
The one that you have.
The one that I just.
Yeah, it's like, now you're shocked, you're not familiar with where everything is.
really.
That's not gonna take long.
Other way around, we're missing it. I hope to do more than what I hope to do is. I'm hoping that I get my building going. Maybe next year. But I'll have a guy build me some, the whole 9 yards. That's nobody up here knows where I live.
Broadway's my smart brother. Okay. From south.
That happens a lot, thank you. Been right over there.
I don't usually coat mine. I got the stuff that you like give me. I've got some stuff to keep it from.
Think we continue to do this?
It's hot in there.
You can go crosswise like this.
I got a nice curve on one side. The other side is not. How can I encourage that?
We don't do that here.
Pull it over to where your center line is more going that way.
It's like you know what you're doing or something.
Just take this and line it up where your center line
It's
is.
an illusion.
Right?
So that way, you know.
Take it.
That's why I put that
Come down past Where the end, just worry about the lead and that. Make that part, it's not what you got. Get that where you're. I'm not very good at explaining.
Now,
You're
so
all
the
God.
blade of the steel path. Right?
Come on, here's the little fingers.
Coming back to this. Because the thing is, they make a set of standard ones. Nobody makes parts.
They get long.
You can't buy basket pills, pommels, any of that for steel swords, for steel fighting.
Really?
Yeah. You can, but I mean, just because nobody makes them. But they put those blades, but any of the other furniture,
Man,
make it
my
sell.
first
I mean, if you want to
I
watch
was-
it, nobody
I had a
can
braided
That's
table,
it.
and I wasn't paying attention, and the table was right here.
Oh.
I looked over the plastic.
You gotta make it so you
table. I was like, oh,
are the tank sizes on those things standard?
Yeah. Quarter 20.
Yeah, I wish it had a longer
Or
cable where I
20
put it up.
Well, I had to put it on line and everything. Same thing.
Hey, you guys had anything to drink lately?
I feel like I get longer. I feel 3 balls of water so far.
Okay, just checking. I haven't drunk enough.
Yeah, Asa. This is a Hanway, Hanway fractal. And they just use quarter 20 threads.
Right, but if you're talking about making hardware, this spacing also standard.
It varies, but it's pretty 2.5. You're not having much variance. And not only that, there's a handle section in between the pommel and the hilt. So as long
Right,
as you
but
go,
you're making up the handles and the hardware.
Yeah.
You add the-
whatever that size is. See, at that point, that would be one of those, like, you just get the range of that 2 to 2.5. And just have a couple of blades handy to use the device, or they can bring their own in. And go, yeah, it's that size. Yeah, I did Master Allen's, the whole version of his MOD sword. And it was the same way, like, I had to wait till we had finished with the blade
Before you
before I
can
could make the hardware.
I mean, that's how it
So-
works. You gotta fit it to the blade.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
if you're using a commercial
Here,
producer,
flip it
you
over,
know
get
that
one
you
side
can
to the
turn
other.
on.
Oh, yeah.
If you're cross beam, so one goes under the other.
Or they're gonna.
But you can damn near get them round without a mandrel.
It's just easy to squish them. Once it's cold like that, you're not moving that over. It's just like-
I'm just gonna go to every angle, I think is what I'm doing. I'm just gonna spend a little time on this before I can say I did.
A little bit here, a little bit there.
Long handle.
Put a little fire on this one too, just because I'm here. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna do the same thing.
Is that a cute little angle?
Yeah, that's the one you just cleaned up, ain't it?
Yeah. It was gnarly when I picked it up. Like,
That
sitting
dude's
down-
got, how, it's got some age on it, just go. Any idea what it is or where it's from, what it's from?
Nope.
It looks colonial to me, for some reason.
It's definitely quieter than some of the other ones because it doesn't have the long tail. But,
There's no stampings or anything on there.
no.
Yeah, for some
A lot of
reason-
it's got a divot.
If James Townsend and some had this in one of his videos, I'd be like, yeah, that fits.
But I mean, it's 45 pounds by itself, and then add the stump, it's plenty of weight to work with.
I should have brought my little period S gamble, I just got lazy. For doing bevels, that thing is amazing.
Yeah.
You may have to try the belt one. Belt's here.
Okay, you want to use the guillotine tool?
Cheaters.
Use my, where's the sled?
Okay.
Yeah, the ball. Don't worry if it rounds, it will.
Okay.
Where's this little hammer live? This one here.
That's Melgar.
Smells hard.
Then you put it on the corner of the table.
This is bouncing around and stuff, and it can't really hang out here. That big one? No. Okay. Now I need.
So, whole lot of sweat, whole lot of hot. I have myself a spearhead with a socket. Ugly, but it's mine.
Yeah, but for structure, man, like if you were gonna do a sword.
Okay, so it's a bit of a look at a Hammerin. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll show off the spear later when I get home, and we're gonna do a little bit of grinding because my beveling's not the greatest, so I'm learning. But I'll have a little snippet of it at the end. And then these are the kind of the cool off the main event things you can go and do between folks that have like the similar interests. There are folks that get together for glass making or bead making, you know, you name it. Equestrian folks get together and do stuff. So if you have a spot where you have a chance to go and learn from these things, this was literally set up so that there was just a bunch of tools, equipment, some stuff, and someone willing to teach something. So you can go through, have fun with it, learn something as you go, and you don't have to have all the things. So, you know, working with what you got, how to make, you know, little things, even if you didn't have anything at all, you could still come learning something. So hope you guys enjoy, and we'll talk to you later, and hopefully I can get back to making more videos.